Chelsea against Tottenham. How much is the gap closed between these two this summer, would you say, Martin? Because everybody's talking about Conte. Conte's the difference. Conte's the difference. Is it different Tottenham? Is it?
Well, I mean, we were just saying there about the record that going to Stamford Bridge is awful, isn't it, for Tottenham? But I think if there's any man that can change that, it's Conte. I without doubt, the way he's galvanised. He said last year they went out of the League Cup to Chelsea, and he said there's a huge gap between the two clubs. We need to do lots of work. He was using them almost as a barometer of where he needed to be, and I think he's quickly, with the signings he made in the transfer window, what he's done this summer. And they've got players queuing up in various positions. Basuma didn't get on to the latter stages of the game. Looked like a huge signing. Bentancur's playing in midfield. Looks like him and Højbjerg are going to make that position their own. Spence as well played at Forest. Again, Doherty came off the bench as a substitute, not Spence at all. So there's lots of good options. And Chelsea you feel they're not quite as strong without Rudiger at the back as they once were. So yeah, I think there's a chance for Tottenham this season to do something really well with what they're building. And it seems that the manager's firmly in charge, and these players are almost on trial. These are the levels we need.
And when you say a chance for Tottenham to do something this season, what does the chance look like in your mind's eye?
They've already done top four, but they can maybe challenge with the top two teams about consistency. They've got to get off to a huge start, Jim. We're 16 games before we head off to a World Cup. And they've got to win virtually every one of these.
Oh, yeah.
And they've made a big statement last week. Do you think
that, Simon? They can disrupt Liverpool and City?
Doubtful. But I do think this is an interesting test on Sunday for both teams, because there's a lot of adoration, a lot of expectation now of Tottenham, a lot of belief that actually Tottenham have turned the corner. They've got a squad that's being built under a proven winner that wins. Wherever he goes, he wins. And then you've got Thomas Tuchel, who's slightly diminished by the performance last year. 2 cup finals, both lost on penalty shootouts, but notwithstanding it, they've only won a Community Shield last year, or the World Club Championship, sorry. So we're at a stage where, what are Chelsea? They're blunt. They've signed Raheem Sterling. That's not the answer to their problems in terms of a focal point that they've built Lukaku for, that they've never been able to get anything from him on. Whereas at Tottenham are in great nick. So it's a great test, because if Tottenham are going to be what people think they are, then they're going to go and put a game on, and they're going to give Chelsea a hard time. If Chelsea are going to be more of the Chelsea that we've known before, then they're going to be expecting something on the weekend. I personally think if Chelsea are a margin off and Tottenham were as good as they were last week, Chelsea could get a thwacking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're solid enough, Chelsea. They know they're well-oiled. This will be the first home game. But is Thiago now going to be able to do a whole season again? Look, what is he, 38 years of age now? Rudiger going out the door. I think Fofana I can see why they want Fofana, because they want youth in there, and he wants to tie somebody in to understand the role. Azpilicueta staying with Jim was actually good news for them. But when you look at it right now, that gap has massively closed, and it's up to Tottenham to prove that at the weekend.
A winner? Do you give me a winner?
I don't. I think we're looking at a draw there,
yeah.
which won't please Simon, because he will accuse me of sitting on the fence. But I think a draw is a good result for Spurs going to Chelsea. When you look at their record,
it's a sensible prediction.
No, I think it is a sensible prediction. I think the challenge is, if Tottenham get the first goal and Chelsea have to be a little bit braver than possibly they want to be, then it can open the game out, and Tottenham may have the ability to capitalise on it. I think the sensible prediction would be a draw. I just would like to be a little bit more ballsy about it, and I think Tottenham have got the opportunity to go and lay an early glove on Chelsea.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.